for the day. It's going to be a long day, but useful as usual. I hope.
Yes, sure. Why?
Yeah, well, I have to. I got a new class from UDEMEX, the University in Toluca, and I need to
Mhm.
do the registration, the upload the program, the schedule of the classes. I mean, all the technical administrative details. It doesn't take too long, and it's
Yeah.
very simple, but still you need to do it. So
And it is online or how it
I'm
works?
happy with that new class.
I imagine, sure. That's great. It is online?
Yeah, it's online. It's actually it's not class, not a class. It's a tutorship. It's like you assign the students the topics, they study the class, and then they ask you for advice or a clarification of certain topics. So really, the task of a teacher here in this class is more like a tutor, more than a teacher. They ask you
Mm.
questions, and you just give them advice or respond or suggest them what to do.
That's great.
So it's really simple.
Yeah. And what is the topics that now you're, well, not like teaching, but like giving the
Tutorship
tutorship?
or mentorship.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's a creation of companies,
That's
creation of
great.
enterprises. Yeah, like starting a startups, start up a new business, start up a new enterprise company or whatever. There is so much literature that really they can study almost anything they want. The thing is that you give them some practical advice. I really have only created two companies, which is the Top Class Academy, and prior to that, the the what's this, the project, which was AgroPatch, is an organization that was devoted to building projects to download funds from the government, to get funding from the government.
That's great.
And well, also I created a small company to be Louisiana another stores as a supplier with FEMSA here in Oxford Leon. But
Mhm.
we sold them very few things, really not for too long, maybe no more than 5 years, I think. But well, anyways, you give them you share your experience.
Yeah, of course.
Being that young, you already created your company at what, 22, 23? You're 23?
Yeah, I'm 23. Yeah.
23, well, that's fabulous. Imagine. By 30, you will have achieved lots of things, Mickey.
I hope so, teacher. I hope so.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. For sure. Talking of that, uh, which companies in large scale do you admire, and why do you think they have been so successful, Mickey?
Mm, well, there are so many companies that I admire. Uh, One of them is Amazon. Amazon is one of the companies that I admire. Google too. What else? Apple.
Apple.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so many companies.
Right. And what do you think is the reason for their success?
The reason of their success.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
they've been successful, but there is a reason for that, and there is a cause, I suppose.
yeah. Well, in a way, because all those companies, um, in their times and well, in the totality were like innovatives. I think that they knew um, how to mix technology with creativity, and that's why those companies, well, until now are one of the are part of the companies most wealthiest and popular around the world.
Right. I noticed that most of these companies, well, at least the ones that are famous and popular,
Hmm.
are American companies.
Yeah,
And obviously, they are, in a way, the leaders of the Western world in terms of company development, right? But I don't know. What do you think about that, Mickey? Why not French companies, German companies, mm, or is it a trend? What is the reason you think that most of these companies are American?
Mm, well, I think because all those companies started in a period where United States was strong in terms of um, technology, innovation. And in the actuality, I know that there are, for example, Chinese companies, um, or yeah, for example, Alibaba, BYD, Huawei, and probably it's because uh, now China have like um, more power in technology. I think because probably uh, China is investing in technology and education, and that's why there are so many companies who are uh, winning at this moment. But probably, well, I know that for example, Amazon started selling ebooks. They started with the Kindle, you know that e-reader.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, that's great. Actually, yes.
yeah, Amazon started like just like a virtual library, and now
Oh,
how?
really? That's how they started.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
The day of my birthday, I went to a conference with a person who worked there in Amazon when Amazon started,
Right.
and she mentioned that Jeff Bezos started just selling ebooks through Amazon, and then well, with the innovation and the creativity, they scale Amazon until what is now. So yeah, I think that probably in that moment, United States was strong in terms of innovation and technology.
Right. If we took a look at this chart, at this table, you would see many companies. Most of them are from the US, some of them. Samsung is, I think, Korean or Chinese. I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
South Korean, I think so.
South Korean, all right. And I don't know about SpaceX. That's a company I don't know at all. What's SpaceX? Rocket
Mm,
technology.
yeah, SpaceX. The owner is Elon Musk, and well, what they are trying to do is first of all do like commercial commercial trips to the
Flights?
yeah flights to the space, and a part of that they want to no well yeah they want to see if it is possible to have human lives in Mars.
Okay, well, that's why they call it ambitious, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
They want to colonize Mars. Well, to begin with, in order for the people to be able to live in another planet, there must be oxygen and I believe nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon. I understand the famous CHON, right? Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen for for life to be
Yeah,
able to appear.
yeah, I think so. I think that it's not just like, well, we want to go to Mars and start our life there. I think that there are different factors that probably, I don't know until this moment if it is possible or not to have uh, the human living in Mars. But well, he's ambitious.
Yeah. I know that the next question is hard, is highly subjective and it's probably difficult to do. But how would you rank all these companies in terms of service and sustainability? If you had to say, well, this is the company that's going to live the longest, which one, excuse me, do you think is going to live the longest of all these companies? That has the
Mm,
most sustainable design or structure?
hmm. Well, that's a good question. Probably. Mm, well, there's so many companies that probably. I don't know if Netflix. Well, we know that Netflix started with the streaming, but now there are so many companies that are doing the same and offering
Oh,
until better products. I heard last week that Netflix wants to join with Disney and give like a service together between Netflix and Disney Plus. So probably
oh,
I don't
okay.
know if Netflix um have this fear to disappear or to not being so popular as in the past was.
Okay, I see.
Mm, but probably Google, I think that is one of that that will prevail.
Prevail, right? That's probably the longest living company.
Yeah,
The one
Google.
that's going to live the longest, maybe, right?
Yeah, because well, Google invests in so many things. Not only is the searcher as we know, it has Android. Um I think that they're investing in artificial intelligence too. So yeah, probably Google. Um,
It's amazing how the other day I tried to connect. I bought a small screen for
uh-huh.
my apartment here in Leon,
Hmm.
and I connected it with everything, with my cell phone, with the laptop, with everything. You can actually pass the command to
Hmm.
your cell phone, and you can virtually reproduce everything that is on your cell phone in the screen.
Hmm.
That was impressed with that.
What is the name of the screen?
Is Chinese one is
Hisense.
Hin that
Hisense.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. I believe
Yeah.
it's a Chinese brand, and the
Yeah, it's
design is
Chinese.
incredible. Yeah, the design is incredible. The price is very reasonable, really. And I asked the guys at Liverpool if they had any complaints, and they said to me that never. So they recommended it above other established brands.
Yeah, actually, I have two TVs, and the brand is Hisense. I don't know if it's Hisense or Hisense. I don't know, but yeah, I
Well,
know the brand.
all right. It's Chinese, but I think the Americans call it Hisense. But well,
Yeah.
the thing is that this is really good, a really good equipment.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, what else? Um, Probably Amazon. Amazon.
Amazon would be number two, maybe, right?
Yeah.
And let's see the number three. The three top companies that would prevail in the marketplace, in your opinion.
Mm, Probably. Well, I don't know if Tesla because Tesla, uh, the prices are Tesla are a little bit expensive, and there are other brands that are offering electric products and much cheaper. But probably I don't know. Mm, Facebook probably.
Facebook, yeah. Well, Facebook has had now a long life, right? When did it start?
Well, I know that Facebook started. It was like a little group in Harvard, and they were like sending messages, and then it became popular with the like button. So from them, Facebook started as a social media, sorry,
The
as a how is it, red social? How do
great,
you?
great social media
Yeah.
platform.
Mm-hmm.
Were they
But
the ones who started with the like button?
yeah, that was the moment where Facebook became more popular because then you could give likes to the photos of your friends and then send comments. Do you remember that in the past it was just like and dislike?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were
and
the
then
ones there.
uh huh. Yeah, there's a movie I think that is called red social. I don't remember in English what is the name, but it explains the beginning of Facebook. Actually, Mark Zuckerberg took the idea from other people.
Okay, I see. I see. Well, very, very nice, interesting, very interesting, Mickey. Thank you very much for your comments on these three top
Yes,
living
thank you.
companies. Do you have also other type of companies that are huge conglomerates, and they are just impressive in the sense that they build, they do the manufacture, they do everything.
Mhm.
And an example of that is Mitsubishi, General Electric, Hyundai. Let me show you a table with these companies,
Yeah,
and I am impressed how good they are. For example, Mitsubishi. Mitsubishi builds obviously cars, um, escalators, electric escalators for convenience stores like Liverpool, or you see an escalator, electric escalator in Plaza Cibeles, for example.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
probably built by Mitsubishi.
Mhm.
You see cars, you see medical equipment, you see power plants, almost everything. Mitsubishi builds almost everything. It's maybe my favorite company, or the one that impresses me the most in terms of versatility. They do everything, and I'm surprised how well they do it. But you have other groups. What do you think of the other ones, Mickey? Which ones are you familiar with?
Mm, well, I know General Electric too, Siemens, Data Group. I think that I don't know that company. Do you know Data Group?
I know that they sponsor a very strong chess tournament every year, the Tata Steel. Tata Steel is a company that manufactures steel, which I don't know, and I need to check out is where it is from. I think it's Norwegian, but I'm not sure. And they sponsor a chess tournament where the champions play, Magnus Carlsen and Nepomniachtchi and other chess players.
Hmm.
And that is a very strong tournament. The prizes are very good. They give good money. And I knew that they produce steel. I didn't know they produce also automotive parts and IT services. But I knew that they were in the steel area. That's all I knew about Tata Steel. Samsung, I'm sure you know him.
Yeah, yeah. I was searching about Data Group, and
Ah, okay. What does it
it
say?
owns so many popular companies as Land Rover, the car company,
Wow.
Jaguar too, uh, and I think
Oh,
that it's Indian, right?
excuse me.
It's Indian, the group.
Um, I don't know. I thought they were Norwegian. Well, maybe I'm thinking that because the world champion is from Norway, but you said that it's Indian, eh?
Yeah, it appears. It says the Great Indian Company Tata Group. It has so many companies.
Oh, so it's from India.
Yeah.
That's impressive. Well, I many years ago I learned that many Indian companies were establishing themselves in Guadalajara. Yeah, it's from Bombay. Yeah, you're right, Mickey. Thank you. Yeah, Mumbai or Bombay, Maharashtra, India.
They
Wow,
were
amazing.
established in Guadalajara.
They were, I mean, not this company, but many Indian companies were establishing themselves in Guadalajara to develop software applications with lots of practical applications for government, for the car industry, for gaming industries, basically for everything. And they were working both for Mexican companies and for American companies that would require the development of applications. You know that Indian engineers are renowned and very famous and very reliable,
Yeah.
and I say very, very cheap too. In other words, you don't pay an Indian engineer the same as you pay an American or a German engineer in software. So, and they also were giving support to the cluster in California, very famous. What's the name of this? Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley.
So they were giving technical support from India itself, but then they started to migrate to Mexico, basically to Guadalajara and another city in the north. Don't remember the name. But these
Monterrey.
people could be, maybe yes, yes, maybe yes, and they were establishing clusters of engineers in software engineers to develop all kinds of applications for the U.S. industry, but also for some Mexican industry. And that was, I'm telling you about this 8, 10 years ago, no,
Hmm.
maybe more. And they were growing and growing and growing in number. Now, if you go to Guadalajara, you should be able to see large communities of Indian people.
Yeah.
I don't know
Well,
if the
yeah, it
last.
makes sense. Uh-huh.
Yes, Vicky, go, please.
Yeah, it makes sense because I remember I was in what's the name of this mall in Andares, and I remember that I saw Indian people, and it was curious because you can recognize them easily.
Yeah, you can.
But yeah, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, well, sir, from Tata is from India. I didn't know that.
Mm.
Samsung, you said that they are Korean, right? Or South Korean.
South Korean, yeah.
How about Berkshire Hathaway? Where are they from? I have no clue, but I have never heard of
Berkshire
him.
Hathaway,
Sound
uh,
English. Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett.
It's American then. Berkshire.
Hmm.
Insurance, energy, railroads, consumer goods. Hyundai. That's Korean.
Hyundai, yeah, it's Korean.
They were our competitors when I was in Siemens. They used to build transformers. And the funny thing about these guys
Mm-hmm.
is that the guy that quoted the freights from Guanajuato to Eagle Pass or a bordering city would give you a quotation of 90 to $100,000. So they told you US 90,000 to take the transformer from Guanajuato to Eagle Pass, for example. At the same time, the same transformer that would be shipped from Korea to the US would give you. We would get this with agents with our sales agents. They said, "Well, why is the freight so expensive from Mexico to the US if the freight from Korea to the US is $30,000?" So and then I started to suspect that there was something fishy in our
Hmm.
company until I eventually found out that the general manager and the purchasing manager were in collusion to double or sometimes triple the freight.
Hmm. Wow.
But
But yeah, it was the 33% of the total.
yeah, exactly. From Korea to the US in a vessel or a small ship.
Hmm.
Well,
Wow.
not so small because they had to carry a power transformer. No, it was not a vessel. I'm sorry, it was a cargo ship. But still, $30,000 compared to $90,000 is a huge difference, right?
Yeah.
Well, but I remember Hyundai, a very strong group, and Hitachi. I know that Hitachi also built medical equipment because when I did my thesis, I built a pulse oximeter,
Hmm.
and I was planning to reverse engineer a Hitachi equipment, but then I chose another equipment, and then I found out how to replicate it more or less. But Hitachi has a very good technology. Are you familiar with them?
Yeah, I think that I have seen um, like microwaves and the type of like kitchen kitchen equipment of that brand, Hitachi. Yeah.
Okay. Don't you remember Hitachi televisions long time ago?
Mm, well, I think that Hitachi uh, is still selling televisions, but yeah, I remember now that you mention, I remember in my grandparents' house that they have it was like a little TV, and yeah, in the low part it says Hitachi. Yeah, that's true. I didn't remember that, but yeah,
Yeah, they had televisions as well. I don't remember if it was my grandpa's or someone in the family had a Hitachi TV long time ago. And then we
yeah.
have Johnson and Johnson. What do you think of them? How do you know them? How do you like them?
Johnson and Johnson. Um, they were saying that we're selling the vaccines.
Um, I don't know, but they have been in the market for many, many, many years. They conducted one of the most interesting studies in history of sexual behavior. They studied and they kind of became controversial because of that study, because they were asking couples intimate questions, right?
Hmm.
And at first, imagine 40, 50, no, maybe 60 years ago, the famous Johnson and Johnson study, and the revelations were dramatic, and they caused like a scandal in the U.S. Imagine 60 years ago what they
Well,
did, right? So but they became very famous because of that study, that research, which basically broke many taboos. That's what it did, right? Uh, and it changed the social pattern and behavior, basically, of the way conquering people was used to be, right? In the past, men used to take the initiative, young men, um, flirt with women, conquer them in a way, right?
hmm.
And they, with that study that was, I don't know, 500 questions long, I think, but it was very, very famous. I never read it, but I only knew about it.
Hmm.
Um, they revealed unusual things that you wouldn't expect 50 or 60 years ago, which now are very common. And you see every youngster, every kid knows now, right? But that, imagine 50 or 60 years ago, that was a novelty. So they became very famous because of that. I don't remember the name of that study, but I'm sure that they made it at least 50 or 60 years ago. Let me check really quick, Mickey.
Yes, sure. Yeah, I think
But
that
you know,
they
yes,
were
yes,
offering
go.
the one type of COVID vaccine, right? To Johnson and Johnson.
Probably
Yeah, I think so.
they also marketed Tylenol. They, well, they're really good at many things. They did well, lots of things actually. They developed Tylenol. That's one thing. Treatment for AIDS or HIV. They also had cancer therapies. They did research on cardiovascular health, immunology, infectious diseases, and vaccines. No, you're right, Mickey.
Yeah.
Vaccines too.
Well.
I don't know. Obviously, medical devices. Actually, you know what? Maybe you know this teacher at Instituto Pato. Very good teacher and very good person. I think he had a twin who taught math that passed away recently.
Villegas.
Villegas.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a representative for Johnson and Johnson. He distributes not only this company but many other companies. But one of the companies that he distributes medical appliances for is Johnson and Johnson. I don't know
Yeah.
if you know this.
His name is Fernando Villegas.
Fernando, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Very
true.
good guy. Do you know him?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, one time uh, he told me that he sends you greetings.
Ah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He's a good friend. He loves chess. His kid also used to like chess, but I'm telling you about what 15 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
His kid now must be what, in his 20s? He had a
Mm,
son.
Yeah, he has one son and one daughter. Probably, yeah, he's almost his 30s.
The
His son.
kid?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Well, maybe yes, because he came to take chess classes to my house like what? Maybe 15 years ago. No, it must be in, in his 30s. You're right. Now
Yeah,
he's a man.
because
Wow. Time
his
goes
daughter
fast.
has 33 years old, and I think that the difference was between 2 or 3 years. So probably, yeah, he's in his 30s.
He has a daughter, right?
Yeah, she has a type like a type of disease. I don't know what she has, like a mental disease.
Oh,
But yeah,
oh, I'm sorry about that. Oh, okay, I'm
yeah,
sorry, but I didn't know. And his wife was a teacher at Instituto too, I think. I still think she still is, right? I think.
yeah. Coco, teacher
Coco,
Coco.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
she was my
Yeah, good
teacher
people.
at times.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, what did she teach you?
Uh, well, everything related in organization development and human,
Okay,
like human resources and that stuff.
I see. I see. Okay. Well, yeah, I believe he was a distributor for this company, and he
Mm,
was pretty, seems to have been pretty decent work. I mean, the profit that these companies make, because they invest a lot of money in research, and then they develop these appliances that you use in surgical treatments, in medical appliances or applications, in the medical industry, basically. So, yeah, well, that's a payoff of good research, don't you think?
yeah, of course. Yeah, probably that's the issue of some brands that don't that they are not like innovative. They are not like doing researches about what can they apply to their companies, and that's why some companies just disappear because they don't update to the actuality.
Right. I don't know if I told you that one of our teachers married a Danish guy. I think I told you about that she married this Danish guy, and then she went to live to Denmark with this guy. Her name
Mm,
is Jimena. She used to be a teacher at Top Class in our school. She married
mm,
this Danish guy, and then they called me because she gave references, and one of the references she provided was me, myself.
mm,
And so this lady from Denmark called me and asked me about her. I told, well, she's very responsible, very efficient, very good teacher, a very good person, obviously. And eventually they gave her the job. But the company that was calling was a pharmaceutical company that manufactured pharmaceuticals for the pharmaceutical industry.
mm.
And I noticed that many of the products are built or manufactured in Denmark, even if they are subsequently sold to other companies like Bayern or Pfizer, etc.
Yeah.
How do you like these pharmaceutical industries, Mickey?
Mm, uh, well, to be honest, I'm not pretty informed about those companies. Obviously, I know them, and I think that because um, for the COVID vaccines, and I remember that it was so popular in that time. Um, but yeah, of course, those companies invest, as we mentioned, in research, and and I think that those are the wealthiest companies too, because they are involved in health, and I don't know. I have like my suspicions in occasions because I don't know. I think that with the development of technology and knowledge in medicine, vaccines, and all stuff, I think that so many common diseases probably could be how can I say, like cured in a way, and probably they don't want to sell those products because the business could go down. I think so. I don't know. Probably I'm wrong, but yeah, I have my theories about it.
Yeah, I also have my second thoughts or suspicions, as you mentioned correctly, about these companies and their ethics. And
Hmm.
yeah, totally agree with you. Many diseases, which are common diseases, can be cured with very simple methods. And there are some people who suggest that we should go back to the ancient methods of curing people with herbs and
Hmm.
plants. What do you think about that idea, Mickey?
Uh, well, yeah, I think that actually there are medicines that are based in herbs or and plants, but I think that depending too of the level of the disease, I think so. But for example, well, I know that if you take, uh, I don't know what's the name of, what is the tea that helps you to cure the sore throat and that stuff? Mm,
Is the syrup mm,
or well, that you can
bronco?
mix
It's not broncolini.
honey with tea and it helps you to the sore throat, right?
I think it was broncolin or some type of medicine like that, right?
Yeah, I think that it's not necessary always to take medicines because, in a way, I think that our uh, how to say immune system, right?
Immune system. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, in a way, I think that it gets used to the medicines, and then you need to increase the doses to repair probably a not danger disease. I think so.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I just got a table in which there is the product and also the properties, the medical properties, and it also shows the active compound, which I don't think we need at this time. But just for the sake of curiosity, let me add it here.
Yeah.
And what irritates me, well, irritates me is probably too mild, makes me angry, is that products like this one, which you will see as number one, aloe vera, aloe vera.
Hmm.
This is a product that is comes from a very common plant in Mexico that is called, I'm sure, even people have it. My friend has it, I have it. Aloe vera is Avila. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that.
It
Obviously,
comes from Savila.
mm,
And it's extremely common. It's extremely cheap. It comes out in the desert. Is the most common plant. It's almost like a nopal, basically the same. It's very easy to grow. It doesn't need water, but it's incredibly useful, incredibly productive, incredibly uh, useful, good for everything. Treats burns, skin irritations, wounds. It has as many positive properties that should be mandatory for people to use it, I think, right?
mm,
But they market it as aloe vera, and it's really is the Savila.
I didn't know
But
that.
because they changed the name, they changed this and that, a small thing, and now they sell it to us with another name, and they make a huge profit. I think it's a marketing. I would say it's marketing stupidity of Mexicans in general. I wouldn't say Mexicans, Latins in general. We don't. Maybe that irritates me a little bit, but because we lose so much opportunities in similar things like this one. For example, products made of cactus, they also extremely useful. Garlic. You see many of these products, lavender, um, what else? Valerian root, rosemary, romero, eucalyptus. These
Hmm.
are all plants that are very easy to produce. Actually, it's easier to produce here in Mexico than because we're a Mediterranean country
Hmm.
than almost in any other country. But we don't market it properly. Peppermint, ginseng.
Ginseng.
Ginseng is Chinese, I think. It
Yeah, I think
boosts
so.
energy. But many of them, as you correctly pointed out, many of the medicines come out of medical plants, medicinal plants, or plants for
Hmm.
medical applications. And well, they are there, but as you said, we don't do research. So how can we know if they are good for this or that if we don't do the research, right?
Yeah, of course. Well, actually, normally, probably until 5 times per year, I had flu and sore throat, and instantly I went to the doctor, and obviously the doctor gave me the medicines and all stuff, and then I decided to don't take always medicines, pills, and until now I haven't been sick of sore throat or flu until now. So I'm started to take just these and drink a lot of water, vitamin C, not only with the like absorbic, or how do you say this type of pills that you put in the water and then um, that are vitamin C. I'm
Oh,
trying
okay.
to get vitamin C from the fruits, and I haven't been sick since probably December of the last year. So
Wow.
probably it's for the same
Impressive.
reason, because our body, in a way, get used to the medicines, and our immune system uh, is not prepared to to defend themselves. So yeah, I try to be um, more open to just take natural medicines in a way.
Yeah, exactly. I fully agree. Uh, Obviously, many of these researchers are useful. Like, for example, if we go back to the left table, you're gonna see some of the companies which are famous and their famous products. For example, if you see Pfizer,
Mm.
Johnson and Johnson, Roche, or Roche, which I think it's French, is it?
Roche, I don't know. Let me check.
Oh, yes, please, Nick.
Hoffman La Roche is uh, is French.
French, right?
Or well, no, it looks that um the the main office is in French, but it appears that they are from Switzerland, I think so.
Switzerland. Oh, wow. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Well, do you see many companies that are familiar to us? Pfizer, Johnson and Johnson, Roche. I didn't know that very much. Merck, obviously, is famous. Which ones do you also know, Mickey?
Uh, well, to be honest, the companies that I know are from the from the vaccine, the COVID vaccine. So Pfizer, Johnson and Johnson, AstraZeneca too. I think that uh, I don't know if Roche is related to the. No, I don't think so. I think that's another company, because there's another company that it's focused in skin treatments that is called La Roche Posay, but I think that that's another company.
Oh, could be. Well, sometimes they have branches or divisions that devote their time to other products and
Aries,
pharmaceutical
yeah.
areas. Yeah, could be. But how is the process of producing pharmaceuticals? Can we Google the process, Mickey, please? Can we find out how the process is? I'm not very into that area, but it's very interesting
Process of
to produce pharmaceuticals.
production process in pharmaceutical industries.
Okay.
Do you want that I share the screen?
Yes, please. Can you?
Yeah.
The idea of this question is to see if we could eventually enter this field, which I don't think that we produce anything in terms of medical. No, yeah, the Seguro Social does, I think. They produce some of their medicines now, which I believe is great.
Yeah,
Oh, here I can see it. Let's see. Here, abstract. Um, okay. Do you think you could read it, Mickey, please?
since the abstract.
Yes, please.
Abstract. The most important stress related to the industrialized societies are diseases and health issues caused by taking medicines that are in unfavorable condition. The health issues caused due to the medications mainly depend on the quality of drugs. This is the main test confronted by any pharmaceutical organization wishing to guarantee its survival. The benefit in the pharmaceutical industries is higher, but now the cost of the medicines is reduced as per the estimation is given by the government. Hence, pharmaceutical organizations now confront a moment of challenge to diminish costs through upgrading and enhancing their production methods. Based on the production process following the pharmaceutical industries, the product quality can be varied and improved. This chapter prescribes the detailed information regarding the production practices that are followed in the pharmaceutical industries for the production of high quality products.
Yeah, one thing that I don't want to say angers me, but puzzles me, is that companies focus on the profit, on making more money on the margin. They almost never focus on the society that say, well, we want to have a huge scope. We want to scatter the medicine among the humankind. But always the topic is how to make more money, which is not bad in itself. It's good. I mean, all of us want to make money, but in some cases, the priorities should be, I think, to be able to complete the full coverage
Yeah.
of the citizens in the world. What do you think of that, Mickey?
Yeah, exactly. That's uh, I have the same thought about it. I think that those companies, obviously, I know that they are companies who wants to get a profit, but I think that they need to focus too on the society. I think if they have the money, the technology to develop something to help the society, well, why not apply, right? Um, that's why I don't like too much those type of industries because I have heard theories about, for example, that they had the cure of cancer and all this stuff, but probably is not so profitable as chemotherapy. How you say
Chemotherapy,
chemotherapy?
chemotherapy.
So that type of theories that exist makes me doubt about these pharmaceutical industries.
Yeah, I'm there with you totally. Well, let's see broadly the process to produce these pharmaceuticals. So first is the drug design.
Hmm.
What is the biological target, right? What do you want to eradicate?
Hmm.
Sometimes smallpox, um, problems with diseases that have been prevalent for decades, like
Hmm.
the Black Plague. Uh, Now is cancer, obviously. So that's one of the main things, right? What is the objective of the drug? And they call drug to the pharmaceutical in general in the medicine industry.
Hmm. And what is that? I always been curious about why it's called drugs.
Drug. Well, that's a good question. Why do they call them drug in the past? Actually, in pharmacies in the past were called droguerias. I don't know if you remember that. Drugstore
Mhm.
in English and in Spanish drogueria. That's like Drogueria Francesa was a very big pharmacy in Leon.
No, not
Yeah.
really. I know that in English, probably it's more popular to see drugstore than pharmacies, but in Spanish, no, I didn't know that.
Drogueria. Yeah, yeah, as your dad or your maternal grandparents are still alive, maybe they will remember
Yeah.
the name of drogueria. Ask them if they have this in their minds, drogueria, and they. I'm pretty sure that was that name because of the Drogueria Francesa.
Drogeria Francesa.
Yeah, here
Still
in
existing?
excuse me,
Still existing that place?
they changed the name,
Mm.
but it was Drogueria Francesa a long time ago, and Then the name drogueria came from the word drug. So actually, the reference is a pharmacie in French. It's apparently it's more international than I thought.
La droguería francesa de calle Ahumada 245.
Yeah, they also called it botica. Yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah, Botica de la Cruz, for example, uh, in the downtown, I think there is one called Botica de la Cruz. I think so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. And in the past, what happens is that the chemist used to produce the chemical right there. They had ingredients, and depending on the disease, they manufactured the medicine right there, and they gave it to you. That's why they call him boticario.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that one time we went with my mom to the Botica de la Cruz here in Irapuato, and I think that it was like a mix of different components that the doctor uh, gave us a prescription there, and yeah, they were doing the mixes, and then yeah, that's true. Botica.
Like, yeah, but then everything became more industrialized, and so the medicines were produced now were with industrialized processes, and they became widely known as pharmaceuticals. But they were produced now, they are produced now industrially in massive quantities.
Yeah, of course.
But then it should be um, every person should be able to acquire those products now. It shouldn't be something so difficult to acquire. Hospitals should be able to acquire them, to have them, but they don't seem to have been dropping their prices. Don't you think? What do you know about that, Mickey? What have you read or seen in terms of prices from pharmaceuticals?
Well, I just have seen that the price is still increasing. Yeah, for example, when I went to the derm- dermatologist, right?
Yes.
Um, the types of medicines that the dermatologist uh, gave us a prescription were so expensive, at least 800 pesos until 2000 pesos.
Oh,
And
really?
and obviously
Jeez.
it lasts you probably a complete month because I remember that the box normally uh, have between 25 to 30 pills, but well, in occasions were treatments of 3 or 4 months. So yeah, it was expensive.
Yeah. I'm reading here some examples of controversial cases of drug pricing. Let me share this with you.
Yeah, I think.
Here's an example, for instance. Here, let's see. It's here. All right. Notable examples of controversial drug pricing. Martin Shkreli. Okay, this is an example. What do you think of this? Is it visible? Can you read it, Mickey? Or
No, it is not.
it's not visible?
Nope.
Sorry. Let me
Yeah.
share. I'm sorry. Here. I'll share. Here it is. All right. There.
Notable examples of controversial drug pricing: Martin Shkreli and Turing Pharmaceuticals. In 2015, Turing Pharmaceuticals, led by Martin Shkreli, acquired the drug Daraprim and raised its price from 13.50 to 750 per pill overnight. This sparked widespread outrage and highlighted the issue of price going
Gauging. Price gauging or
price
gouging. Gouging. Price
gouging
gouging.
in the pharmaceutical industry.
Yeah,
Wow.
going from 13, yeah, imagine the outrage of people. That is crazy, don't you think?
Yeah, and why he did that? Why so extreme? From $13 to seven hundred fifty
Yeah, and it
dollars.
says overnight. It's
Mm-hmm.
what, 300, 400 times more. No, what, 40 times more?
Yeah, more or less. I think so. Yeah.
40 times more. Oh, that's crazy. There is another one here. Share this, and I'll put that.
Metamina.
I believe, yeah. These guys.
What is the function of data prim?
I don't know. Let me check. But it must be something necessary, I imagine. Let me look up.
Mm, to treat a
Prim.
serious parasite infection, toxoplasmosis of the body, brain, or eye, or to prevent toxoplasmosis infection in people with HIV infection.
Okay. Well, so it cures parasites. When we get parasites, it's used for that.
Yeah,
Okay.
therapy.
And there is another one. EpiPen price increase. This is another situation. Let's see.
EpiPen price increase. The price of the EpiPen, a life-saving device for severe allergic reactions, increased by more than 400% from 2007 to 2016, leading to public backlash and congressional investigations. So Baldi for hepatitis C. Uh, Hewlett Sciences priced its hepatitis C drug Sovaldi at 84,000 for a 12-week course of treatment. While the drug is highly effective, its high cost raised concerns about affordability and access for patients and healthcare systems. Wow.
Yeah. Well, it's a pity that, and then a person cannot buy it sometimes, right? The society people. So they sell them to the hospitals or to the public system of of a government.
Mhm.
So imagine that I am a German company and I'm selling you, who are the government, the health system of Mexico, and I tell you, okay, Mickey, the only problem, Mr. President or Mr. Secretary of Health in Mexico or in any country, Argentina, Paraguay, whatever. Now the cost of the medicine is not going to be 13,000; it's going to be 750 per pill. That's gonna, so you have a budget, I don't know, 20 million pesos or $20 million for the public sector, right? For that specific disease or problem. And then the next time that am the president, okay, the president of Mexico is asking you, Mr. Secretary of Health, what is your budget? And then you say, well, I had to increase it 400 times more. It's like, what? 400 times more? Well, yeah, because now the government of this pharmaceutical increased the price 400 times. How can it be? Right?
Yeah. Well, I know that, for example, the health services in the United States are so expensive, right?
Incredibly expensive, yes. And
Well,
that leads to anger of people. People get angry because they increase the prices so much, and they sometimes say abusive, right?
yeah.
So you get angry, people get angry. They say, well, it used to cost me $13, now it's 750. And it's your health. It's not that you, well, it's a movie. No, I don't watch it anymore. It's something
Yeah.
that is needed.
Yeah. That's the issue with some pharmaceuticals that they're just focusing on the profit instead of the
Social benefit.
social benefit. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't think that is uh, an issue that can be solved individually. That needs a collective effort. I think. People needs to permeate their thoughts, their ideas collectively, and almost like a class action, right? To work in common, to work as a group, to convince people of many things. Looks like a difficult task, but also there is a power in people who convince the masses. I think that's also very meritorious. I don't think I have that talent, but I know people who has it. I know people who have this talent of convincing masses of people.
Hmm.
Do you
Yeah.
know
Mhm.
family members, friends, teachers in your school, or maybe yourself who can talk to people and convince them?
Mm, well, yeah, yeah. There are people who it is good convincing people, but yeah, as you mentioned, I think that it's a problem that mm, that first of all people must be aware. I think that, for example, I don't know, probably it's another theory, but the food industry, I think that is occasions collide too with the pharmaceutical industry. That there are so many um, processed foods that obviously affects to our health, and then we go to the pharmaceuticals, and so it
Right.
looks like as a cycle of never ends that never ends. So yeah, people must be aware of that and informed about it.
Yeah, there's a collusion between the food industry and the pharmacy. That's a good point, actually, very good point that I hadn't thought about. Well, probably, well, it's logical. It's logical, right? Like they have these memes where you have the stand of taquitos, and next to that you have the pharmacy or a small hospital, right?
Exactly. Yeah. For example, I remember one time that I read that in the past, the breakfast it doesn't exist. It exists until the the butcher companies, the companies who sell sausage and jam and all stuff of products, talk with one person called Edward Edward Bernays, that is called the father of the propaganda. And then they started mentioning that the breakfast was the most important food of the day. So the increase of sales of jam, eggs, sausage obviously increased, and people now believe that. But it is not necessary to eat 3 times per day. In occasions, with just one meal, obviously a complete meal, according to your carbs, your protein, your vitamins, minerals. But yeah, people, including me, believe that idea.
What is his name of this person that you mentioned, Mickey?
Uh,
The
Edward
author,
Edward Bernays
Edward
is called
Bernays.
as the father of propaganda.
Edward Bernays, French, I suppose.
I don't remember. Let me. Edward Bernays is from Austria.
Bernays, yeah. From Austria, right? Austrian American. The father of modern public relations and propaganda, Bernays. Public relations and marketing has legacy, is complex. Revolutionized techniques for shaping public opinion and influencing consumer behavior. Wow. He's a guy that must be studied and analyzed.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, Mickey. Well, great conversation as usual. Thanks for
Thank
the
you very much, teacher.
reference.
Yeah, teacher, no problem. Thanks.
Thank you. Take care and see you. What I think. Well, look. Next week I'm gonna go to Campeche because I'm
Oh,
gonna
it's great.
support the chess team to the nationals.
Good
But I
luck.
will be available, so we can do the classes online. It's just that we settle the classes on the go, if you wish. Right? We
Yes,
decide
sure. No, don't worry, don't worry. Focus on the tournament. Good luck.
all right. Well, I'm not gonna play. I'm gonna be the coach,
Yeah.
but I have time. I have time to do the classes. So just set the schedule beforehand, and then we do it, Mickey. Okay.
Yes, sure. That's right. Thank you very
All right.
much and
Well,
enjoy your
thank
weekend.
you. Thank you. Take care. You
Sure.
too. Bye bye. See you.
Thank you. Bye.